Welcome back to WGN TV Political Report. My next guest has seen it all in Springfield. The impeachment of a sitting governor, the legalization of same-sex marriage in Illinois, a 2-year budget stalemate, a growing pension crisis, and that's just the beginning. Now he's planning to retire after his current term is over. State Representative Greg Harris joins me this morning in the WGN studios to talk all about it. Majority Leader, good to see you. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
So you felt this was the time to step back for new leadership. Why now?
Well, yeah, we run every 2 years, so you're constantly thinking, is this the right time? We've just changed speakers. We have a governor who has set the state back on a path of fiscal responsibility. There are a lot of new young leaders who should be moving up, and I just thought it was the right time for me to leave.
You get a lot of credit, of course, obviously, for shepherding the same-sex marriage provisions through the legislature. What some people may not remember is that before that happened, it was going to be introduced prior to that. You pulled it back. You took a lot of pressure for that. And I'm just sort of curious, is that sort of when you maybe learned a little bit about the notion of short-term pressure versus learning how to play a longer game?
I think playing the long game's always been important. I mean, I'm in these things to win them. You don't put people's rights up to lose. You put people's rights up when you know you're going to win. And I just thought that was one of those occasions where, we had to take the time to go back and do the work we needed to do to get through with a solid majority.
Do you have any concerns as you leave the legislature that the Supreme Court, they're their own thing, we see what may be happening with abortion rights? Many progressives have said, and guess what? Same-sex marriage is going to be right behind it.
Absolutely, and that's why I think it's so important. Illinois was the last state that was able to pass marriage equality legislatively. No other state was going to be able to do it. And there was a case moving in the Supreme Court, but I'm really glad we passed marriage equality here, because if, God forbid, the Supreme Court does begin to reverse precedent, at least we have protections here in Illinois. And Illinois has enacted state-level protections for women's reproductive rights, for immigrant and refugee rights, for protecting health care and people with previously existing conditions. So we're trying to act so that if something does happen in Washington, at least here in Illinois, we're going to be a little better off.
Yeah, you may not be able to cross a border, but those rights would be here in this state. You've been very public about your struggles with anxiety, depression through the years. Sometimes you saying sometimes you just had to pull away from things. Then you became majority leader. I'm just sort of curious, why was that the right move? Did it increase that emotional pressures on you, or was that a stress you needed to accept, or did it propel you?
It's a stress you need to accept, and it propels me. I mean, keeping track of your mental health on a day-to-day basis and sometimes an hour-to-hour basis is really good and important for everyone to do. But just because you have some of these struggles doesn't mean you can't go out and do a lot of things too. And being majority leader certainly has its pressures on it. But I think I've done well, and hope I continue to do well for the next year.
So my take on it was the reason you ascended to leadership, among other reasons, was your budgeting abilities. I mean, this state really needed somebody who can handle it. That is your expertise. I'm sort of curious, a little reflection back as you're leaving. Those budget abilities probably got challenged under the Rauner administration. So I'm sort of curious how you had to adjust what you did to accomplish getting budgeting done.
If you remember, what Rauner did was he just refused to have a budget for 2 years. He ran our bill backlog up to $17 billion, and he declared war on human services. You remember, on World Autism Day, he eliminated the autism program. He cut immigrant and refugee services. He cut services to homeless youth, all in an attempt to divide Democrats between human services and organized labor. That was his guiding mission. And we fought back, and we beat him. We got a group of Republicans to come over and vote with us to put a budget in place and override his veto. Now we have J.B. Pritzker as governor, and look at the difference he has made in the state in the last 2 years. We have paid down our backlog of bills from $17 billion to now just about $3 billion, which is a 30-day payment cycle. We've paid back about $3 billion in federal debt, and the bond rating agencies have upgraded Illinois for the first time in 25 years.
As you know, Republicans wouldn't be happy with what you said, but let me ask you, we're in an election year, so let's just say there's another Republican governor at some point in our future. Do you have a very brief message, advice you would give to the next budget masters that step in?
That our job is to be sure to take care of, every corner of the state and every interest group in the state. You can't just focus on one area one region, one issue. You have Take Care Human Services, higher ed, our elementary and secondary schools, public safety, increasingly important to be sure that that's funded. Also, mental health, homeless services, the kind of things that are preventative for problems down the road.
You came into the legislature during the Madigan era, but that's true for anybody in the last 40 years. I'm sort of curious, did you ever expect him to willingly give up the gavel as things unfolded?
That was the eternal question everyone in Springfield asked, is what was
What did you
Madigan
think?
going to do? I didn't have an opinion on that. I think, you know, times change, we'll see.
You helped guide the state through that process as he resigned the speakership and ultimately retired from the House. Can you talk about that process? I mean, when those indictments came down, did that take you and others by surprise, or was it really just the unspoken thing you were waiting for?
No, I think everyone was very surprised. And, you know, of course, that process is still playing out. When he left the speakership, you know, he had been there for decades. So changing over to the leadership of Speaker Chris Welch, you know, was a big change for everyone. But two totally different men with two totally different styles. But, you know, look at the things we've accomplished under, you know, Speaker Welch. You know, we have passed $250 million of violence prevention and public safety money into the budget. You know, we've got a climate bill that is considered one of the leading renewable energy, electronic vehicles, and climate protection bills in the country. Lots of things getting done, different styles, different men.
That's true. And you also said you're stepping aside. It's time for new leadership, a new generation. But look, you know that a lot of Republicans will say, you know, it's just more, Chris Welch, all these people that come in, but it's just more of the same. You know, we say, what does Illinois have to do to get rid of at least the appearance of, if not, you know, actual corruption when it exists?
I don't even know what corruption you're talking about. I mean, you know, you've got Speaker Welch in there, you know, who is a new person turning over a new page.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying, but that's an image that people have of the Illinois legislature.
Well, but that's what the Republicans cling to, is, you know, things that happened, you know, decades ago. Or, you know, I was just on a call with a bunch of Republicans where they were complaining that we had balanced our budget and paid down our bills, and it wasn't really clear how the accounting system was set up to do that. That's what they're reduced to now, is complaining about these old tropes and actually, you know, complaining that we're being fiscally responsible. And I thought, you know, Democrats are doing a pretty good job by proving we are the fiscally responsible party in this state right now.
Just a little time left. Outside of marriage equality and budget battles, is there any battle you had over the course of your term that you look back and say, that was really significant?
Increasing the funding for homeless youth. I mean, that was one thing when I came in. People didn't realize that there are 21,000 youth in Illinois who are homeless during the course of a year. And a third of them in the city of Chicago, a third in the collar counties, but a third downstate too. And you know, these young people, they need everything that we can help provide them so that their lives are better and they can provide a good future for themselves and their families.
Out of time, but maybe yes or no, will we see Greg Harris on the public stage in the future?
Who knows?
That's not a no. Majority Leader Greg Harris, thanks for being with me. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
See the conclusions we draw? Still to come on WGN-TV Political Report. The Illinois primary election is more than 6 months away, but already candidates are off to the races looking to lock in support and edge out their opponents early on. More on two already heated races when we come back.